COMMENT, which happened here earlier on. Stick with us for it. It's an absolute cracker, and there's an extra incentive in the Stock 1000 Championship this year with a new award that's been announced here at Thruxton this morning in honour of Mark Fincham, who sadly lost his life here at the track last year. And we've got Phil Spencer from True Heroes Racing here, who was at the unveiling of this award this morning alongside James Whittam as well, who's on the panel. But first of all, Phil, just tell us a little bit about the award.
The trophy's been generated to award recognition for someone in the Stock 1000 class. Mark was really proud to be in that class last year, competing under the True Heroes Racing banner, and it keeps his memory alive in that class. Obviously, Mark was a single-leg amputee and overcame adversity on an almost daily basis, like many of the guys and girls in the True Heroes team. And with his family, we've come up with the concept of the trophy to be awarded to a rider in the Stock 1000 class who's overcome the most adversity over this season. Obviously, as I say, Mark, it was physical adversity, whereas the riders out there, it can be exactly. Adversity is a wide spectrum of things. So James and Fred Clark have obviously generously agreed to be the deciding panel for the award this year. And we've announced it today to coincide with the anniversary of Mark's unfortunate death last year. And it's going to be awarded at the final round at Brands Hatch.
It's a wonderful idea, a wonderful tribute to Mark as well, of course, Phil. And actually, the trophy itself has got quite a nice little story to it.
Yeah. Mike Shora, who's generously made the trophy for us, has taken a number of aspects of Mark's life and brought them into the trophy. So there's representation of Mark's prosthetic leg in the stem of the trophy, his race number of 903 for when he was with us, which related to the date of his injury, his race number of 23 from his club racing days, and the carbon fibre elements at the bottom. And the actual base has actually been hydro-dipped in carbon fibre, which was a project that Mark was actually getting into. He was an engineer, and it was something he was getting into only weeks before, unfortunately, accident last year.
Yeah, well, it's something for whoever wins it to be very, very proud of. I'm sure they will be. And as Phil said there, James, you're going to be on the panel to decide the winner.
Yeah, I'm actually thrilled to be involved with deciding. It's going to be a difficult thing. It's actually, to be fair, difficult to look past your guys as people who's overcome adversity, because that's why you're here and that's what you do generally.
Yeah, that's what the team was set up for back in 2012, was to give the wounded, injured and sick UK servicemen and veterans something to really get involved in and, as you say, help them with overcoming their adversity. And to be fair, what we've done over the last 6 years, they've well proven that these guys and girls can go on to do some amazing things.
It's a privilege for me. Thank you.
That's our pleasure. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks, Phil. We'll look forward to seeing who wins it. Should be a really interesting extra element to what is already a fascinating Pirelli National Superstock 1000 Championship. Here's what happened in today's race.
Keith Farmer, BMW, Tyco BMW, leads the way in the championship, but hasn't qualified terribly well, down in 10th place. Joe Collier in 2nd place for EHA Aprilia on 162 points, 4 points ahead of Billy McConnell, who's down on the 3rd row of the grid. Lee Jackson in 4th place for FS3 Kawasaki ahead of Alex Olsen, who's on a rich run of form on his BMW. Josh Elliott, former champion at OMG Suzuki now. Andy Reid, who sadly has broken both his wrists in yet another accident on Friday and isn't racing, ahead of Seeley, Rouse and Tom Neve. 11th place for Michael Rutter, still there on 40 points despite being missing for a while, ahead of Sam Clark, Jordan Gilbert and Leon Geacock, who's also been running well recently. Taylor Mackenzie then on pole position with a 1:17.0 time, ahead of Josh Elliott and Alex Olsen. Lee Jackson, Luke Jones and Joe Collier on the 2nd row. Matt Trulove, Billy McConnell and Tom Ward on row 3. Keith Farmer, Barry Teasdale and Leon Geacock on row 4. So, ready to go then. We've got 16 laps ahead of the 1000cc Superstock boys. This is their... So, look at that. Keith Farmer, he may have qualified only down on the 4th row, but he still has that, with consummate ease, rolls onto his place on the grid way after everybody else. Look at the angle of Taylor Mackenzie on the Batham's BMW. Is that boy intent on a hole shot here? And he gets it. He pulls it off straight away, right across the line. And I think Alex Olsen got a brilliant start. Oh, was it Luke Jones? Someone got a brilliant dash through from the 2nd row of the grid. It might have been Jonesy, the Herefordshire lad, who cut through on bike number 82, the Morello Kawasaki. the man who is in front. However, that beautiful number 77 Batham's Yamaha in black, red and gold. Taylor Mackenzie, T-Mac, former champion, won here, of course, when he won that championship. Taylor Mackenzie leads the way.
Yeah, it's a BM, Jack. He's definitely a BM. They've always run BMs, and he does look the BM, does Taylor.
Oh, did I say Kawasaki?
No, Yamaha.
Oh, sorry.
But if we go through them all...
I beg your pardon. Batham's BMW leads the way.
Out into the country.
And look at Josh Elliott. He's made a great start on that distinctive blue and black and lemon yellow OMG racing bike. Josh Elliott second on, and it was Alex Olsen who burst through into second place. So a brilliant start for Olsen. He heads Josh Elliott, and right behind him the distinctive orange helmet of Lincoln's very own Lee Jackson, the former Stock 600 champion.
Yep, Lee Bob Jackson loves this place. I remember him holding the stock lap record around here for a couple of years. Last time he was in the championship, and he's also acquitted himself really well in Superbike around this place.
And he holds the lap record in this class.
I didn't know whether he still had it. I knew he had at one point, yeah.
1 minute 16.3 seconds, set in 2014, a mere 4 years ago. So Mackenzie leads it then, but not by much, from Alex Olsen in second place. Third for Elliott, fourth Jackson, fifth Luke Jones. Billy McConnell is up to sixth ahead of Joe Collier and Matt Truloff. Keith Farmer, championship leader, down in 10th place behind Tom Ward on the Muvono Racing Hulsel racing bike.
Yeah, it's going to be difficult for anybody away. Taylor Mackenzie's been quick all weekend, really clicking again with this Superstock bike. And after half a season,
that's Luke Jones side by side with McConnell, and McConnell cleaves his way through Church. So McConnell then grabs the advantage there. Bike number 3 moves through into 5th place.
Yeah, somebody had to give best there, because that's 140 mile an hour corner.
Here's number 10, Josh Elliott, with a mild-mannered Ulsterman, squeezes through inside the tall figure of Alex Olsen and through into second place. Now, you know that he's going to enjoy himself here. Actually, he didn't win here that season that he was Superstock champion in 2015, Josh Elliott. So this would be a first for him if he could get the better of Taylor Mackenzie. So it's BMW leading Suzuki right now, and then number 75 Alex Olsen on the Astro JJR Racing BMW in 3rd place, and the Kawasaki of Lee Jackson 4th. 5th for Suzuki's McConnell. 6th place for Luke Jones on his Kawasaki. Ooh, look at the booking bike of number 75 Olsen.
Yeah, and tyres might be an issue as well. There's 1 or 2 different tyres you can use. They're on street tread pattern. They have to run treaded tyres, the same tread pattern as you can buy to put on your street bike. Hang on. Again, another brave move up the inside there for Josh Elliott, and it's worked.
And this is the sort of track in which that really relaxed, almost old-school style of Josh Elliott's really works, doesn't it?
Yeah, let the bike move a little bit
easy on the bike.
It does, yeah.
Olsen tries to go around the outside of Taylor Mackenzie, and he makes it work by getting that the knee right there in front of Mackenzie's front wheel, and he eases himself through. Alex Olsen, bit of a revelation, James. He's started running really hot at the front in this championship. He's moved into 5th place in the championship, ahead of Josh Elliott, who is just in front of him in this race.
Yeah, we're talking about tyres. They have, however, got a choice of compounds. They've got a choice of about 3 compounds, and they're saying that the riders are saying in this class that it doesn't really matter which one you choose. You've still got to be fairly careful. Remember, these things have got the top side of 200 brake horsepower now, so they're powerful machines, and they will take a lot of wear out the rear tyres.
And Elliott leads the way then. 2nd place for... now, this is interesting. I just wonder if Mackenzie's just being a little easy on those tyres, because we saw in the earlier Superstock 600 race, the tyres certainly went sideways by about 3/4 race distance, yeah, and the boys were enjoying sliding around from that point on, and that was a shorter race.
Yeah, and I don't think that is the case. I don't think Mackenzie would be letting anybody get away. You would, to give your tyres an easy time, you'd be sticking in with the bunch, you'd be keeping up with Olsen and Elliott. Somebody's out, let's have a look.
And I think that was number 57. That's Jonathan Railton on the Boast Plumbing Suzuki, just gliding to a halt there. And so, oof, that was Lee Jackson. He caught the curb coming out of the chicane, unseated himself for a moment.
Yeah, he did. Yeah. Let's have a look.
That's Jackson
Flicks
there.
it right.
Whoa.
Yeah, it didn't clip the curb. It just lost the rear.
Yeah.
That's all. It did. Collected it quite well though.
Oh dear me, that looks... Oh, look at this. Olsen takes the lead. Now, we've been seeing this happening at Brands. He had a good outing where he nabbed the advantage at one point. Look at Elliott cutting inside on the Suzuki.
No, Olsen got it completely sideways and lost a lot of drive there. That's what happened.
I can guarantee I'll get that wrong. And Elliott took advantage big style.
Yeah.
So Elliott obviously wants to run at the front, James. He's comfortable out there doing that.
I don't know whether you would want to run at the front. If you're getting a load of grief from behind and you're getting passed and nipped away, yeah, you'd want your own little bit of space. But to run at the front, you've got to use more tyre, or you're likely to use more tyre. If you can sit behind somebody and slipstream them, you let them do a lot of the hard work. You don't get hard on the throttle on the side of the tyre. Just give yourself and your tyres a little bit of an easier time.
Championship leader Keith Farmer has managed to clip his way through to 7th place, but look at Billy McConnell, number 3. McConnell has levered the build-based Suzuki through into 4th place. So the early pace setter in this series, having qualified down on the 3rd row of the grid, is really finding his mojo round here. Billy McConnell now up to 4th place and challenging 3rd place man Mackenzie. Look at that bank of fans. What a great turnout of spectators here on a glorious day.
Yeah, and here at Thruxton, I'm not saying he's squeezed into one part, but down this back here, you can't really see that much. So most people are on the bankings that cover the start and finish and the complex and the last chicane. Yeah. But there's a big crowd. You know that from the amount we had to queue and the amount of cars you had to sneak past on the grass this morning, Jack.
I didn't sneak onto the grass because you advised me not to get people's ire roused by doing it, James. I thought you were very diplomatic. I would have done it with my northeastern rashness, but I don't. Lee Mackenzie, Lee Jackson does move through. Lee Mackenzie, where did I get that from? Lee Jackson moves through back in front of McConnell. So everybody, a lot of give and take going on here. McConnell's going to try and get up the inside of him on the brakes into the final chicane as we watch Olsen do the front, the same at the front. And McConnell does ease through, so Olsen leads it. 2nd Elliott, 3rd place Taylor Mackenzie, 4th place now McConnell once more, ahead of Lee Jackson. We're on the 7th lap of 16. This is the Pirelli National Superstock 1000 Championship at Thruxton, and it's an absolutely hair-raising 5-way duel at the front. Lee Jackson going wide through turn 1, just pulls it back in front of Billy McConnell. The race leader, Alex Olsen. Josh Elliott, former champion, is 2nd. Taylor Mackenzie, former champion, 3rd. Billy McConnell, former Supersport champion, in 4th. Lee Jackson, former Superstock 600 champion, in 5th place. The only man not a former champion is Alex Olsen, and he gets levered aside once again in the country by Josh Elliott. Yeah,
did you see the way he got pushed out to the dirty part of the track? Just that sort of 2 metres wider. It's not a bumpy track, it's an undulating track. It's like being on some kind of mad roller coaster, and that takes a lot of setting up. It's a different setup for your bike here than anywhere else.
Somebody told me that you'd put it rather wonderfully by saying it was like a fairground ride that was always liable to go wrong at any moment. So that's how it felt.
When you're going around a circuit, you always kind of have in the back of your mind that you need to know when you're in danger and when you're not in danger. That's just a human thing. You've got like a little thing keeping you safe. Let's have Elliott going to the inside. This is also getting pushed wide. You see onto the. You can actually see the difference in colour in the track. But yeah, and going around here, you walk every single corner. You had the impression that if you went, if you crashed, it'd be like one of those aeroplane investigation TV programs where there's a debris field with a little man at the end.
And Mackenzie lost out to Lee Bob Jackson. Jackson has moved through on the FS3 Kawasaki on lap 8 of 16 into 3rd place. The bright green and orange colour scheme that me and James Whittam love, because it used to be the Halifax Corporation buses back in the day with a bit of cream thrown in.
No,
as well.
You still see them. Yeah. Calderdale buses are still that colour.
I'm going to visit Halifax especially to see the Calderdale buses even. Lap 8 of 16 then. This is the Superstock Foul race, and a thoroughly enjoyable and hectic affair it's been so far. The front 3 just beginning to break clear, but breaking clear here is never a guaranteed operation. Taylor Mackenzie, having looked confident at the front early on, is now back in 5th place. don't know where his teammate is. Michael Rutter is up to 15. Michael Rutter has just passed George Stanley and moved into the points, having come from 35th place on the grid. The batch of riders behind this lot now, headed by Keith Farmer, ahead of Joe Collier and Lewis Rollo. Leon Geacock in 9th, Barry Teasdale in 10th. There's some riders in this class, James, who've been around for a little while, who this year have begun to show real improvement. One of them's Leon Geacock, one of them's Barry Teasdale. Most of all, of course, is the man in second place here, Alex Olsen.
Yeah, you've also got a class that a few people have dropped back into this year. Some from Super Sport. We've got Keith Farmer back in the class. We've got Taylor McKenzie. And so, consequently, it's a really competitive class this year. Plus, it's not that difficult to build yourself a competitive bike either. These things are not too dissimilar to the bike you can go and buy in any shop and ride on the road, so it's not too difficult to build one.
There's your old mate Michael Rutter there. Look at that familiar riding style. James, you reckon he's just getting a bit of track time in before the classic TT that he's going to be involved in a couple of weeks?
Yeah, I think it's a good idea. Get your brain used to the speed, and it's a high-speed circuit here, and when he goes to the classic TT, it's all high-speed stuff. So, yeah, good idea, I think.
Again, as they storm across the line, that order, Elliott, Olsen, Jackson, McConnell, McKenzie are the top 5. And then Keith Farmer leading Joe Collier. Farmer and Collier, remember, are lying first and second in this championship, separated by 13 points. And at the moment, Farmer has the advantage. Lewis Rollo, riding number 88, is running in 8th place, 9th for Leon Geacock.
No. Josh Elliott seems keen on leading, and I really wouldn't be as keen as that to lead. I'd be letting somebody else do a little bit of the work, and you can definitely gauge what you're doing and how hard you're using your tyres when you're behind somebody than you can when you're in front.
His fastest lap, by the way, on lap 2, Josh Elliott, was 1:16.64, which is exactly 3/10, just under 3/10 off Lee Jackson's lap record. His last lap round, though, was 1:18.1. That's the difference. 1:18.0 for Olsen.
Yeah.
1:17.9 for Jackson. 1:17.7 for McConnell.
And that's the tyres. That's exactly what that is. They've dropped a couple of seconds, basically.
McConnell has squeezed back again. There we were thinking. There I was thinking the front 3 had just escaped a bit. McConnell's now back in amongst them again. Back number 3.
Yeah, this is Alex Olsen in a bump, and that is actually one of those sort of roller bumps, and that's kicked the back end out. He controlled it pretty well, though, lifted his backside off the seat, took the weight on his legs. Not much of a problem for him there.
Alex Olsen from a place I've never heard of called the Hoo Peninsula, which is on the Thames estuary. A bit of a near neighbour of Jules Holland, believe it or not. He used to do some landscape gardening for Jules Holland back in... Oh, he's having a fairly bucking, weaving ride on that BMW, isn't he? He's fighting it.
He's nearly in the flipping garden now. Jackson cuts underneath Olsen. But then that's the payoff. I mean...
Now, that you wouldn't expect. Lee Bob Jackson is the most mild-mannered little bloke you could ever meet. That you wouldn't expect to move quite as how would you say, as decisive as that from Lee Bob. How
many times have we said that? You can never tell from somebody's demeanour off the bike what they're going to be like on the bike.
And he's not close enough to do any outbreaking. Taylor, if what you're saying is right, Taylor McKenzie might be playing it just right, sitting on the back of this 5.
No, actually, I'm going against what I just said. I'll stand by what I said about Josh Elliott. He must be using a bit more tyre than the rest, but I think a lot of it's how you're riding. I actually don't think Taylor has much left. I think he's on the limit. He looks to be fairly much on the limit staying there, but hey, who knows?
These are the 2 who are fighting for the championship. There's Keith Farmer running in 6th place for Tyco BMW. Right behind him, EHA Racing's Joe Collier. Lee Jackson back through to 2nd place through the complex, and this time he does get the better of the booking BMW. So FS3 Kawasaki's, look at that. He's a brave boy, Alex Olsen. It's all over the shop, that BMW. It doesn't look a comfortable fairground ride, that one, James. That was a smoother run as he went through that long right-hander. You go through Goodwood, followed by Village. Then you have what would be a straight if you weren't going this fast, and you kind of curl round it into Church.
Yeah, just there, actually, where they are now.
And Church, you go through Church at like 110 miles an hour or thereabouts, and then it's hooning it off up above 170 towards 180 down here.
Church feels quicker than that, you know.
Does it really?
Oh, yeah. It's fourth gear and pretty much full all. It does feel quicker than 110, yeah.
Into third place goes Billy McConnell. So the former championship leader, he's looking to hold back as many points as he can right here. Remember, he's only 4 points behind Joe Collier in the championship standings. He's now through into third place, worth 16 points. That would put him ahead of Joe Collier at the moment, who's running in 7th, which is only worth 9. So every position counts here. McConnell riding aggressively. Here comes Jackson trying to go around the outside of... Jackson's got a great riding style. Look at the way he hangs off that Kawasaki, the little Lincolnshire plumber. He's through.
Little Lincolnshire plumber. He sounds like a new toy by Mattel.
Josh Elliott, who's a tall, rangy lad, the Ulster boy.
He's a big lad, isn't he?
He is.
He's quite stocky as well, isn't he, now? We've seen him grow up from being a kid, that's why he...
Yeah. So the lad from Ballina-Mallard in Northern Ireland leads the way again for OMG. Look at those crouching riding styles, absolutely on the boil in one of the fastest races. It's a shame we only visit this circuit once a year, because it is a fabulous place to come to.
Yeah, I mean, all the riders say the same. It's fairly scary, but absolutely brilliant fun. You don't get many circuits like this anymore. It's real old school, and it's brilliant.
And this is breaking into the chicane, losing a huge amount of speed down to second gear, flick through the chicane at about 50 miles an hour, then this massive exit where the rear tyres right on the limit. Elliott looking as relaxed as ever in that distinctive white helmet. He still leads the way. McConnell, Olsen it is, who's got dropped now by this group. And Olsen's in the pits. Oh, poor Alex Olsen, after a brilliant run in which he led briefly, has had to pull out.
I just wonder whether that's a tyre thing, because he was having a lot of trouble with that thing as Jackson slices underneath. Josh Elliott again takes the lead briefly. I just wonder whether that's a tyre thing or a suspension thing, because he was getting, while it looked really difficult to ride it, Olsen's bike. And he was definitely looking at the back of the bike there as he stopped in pit lane.
So that would mean, could it be Jacko has now got the advantage then? But, briefly, look at that line the Suzuki took. Tries to get underneath him, but can't quite.
Yeah, the inside line looks quicker, but when it spills you out to that little straight bit, you're not going as quick.
Back in 2014, Lee Jackson finished third in the Superstock 1000 National Championship, and he won here at Thruxton, but he's going to lose out here as they dive into the chicane. He gets squeezed back once again on what obviously one of his favourite.
Well.
Oh, Mackenzie! Well, that's a pretty brutal move then on Billy McConnell, but Mackenzie's now coming. I just wonder, with 2 laps to go, has Mackenzie got the tyre to do anything about the guys in front of him?
No, and I think he's actually scuppered any chance that Billy McConnell had of winning as well. Jackson looking up the inside into the complex. Yeah, I was going to say, he tried that move before, it's worked before.
And it worked again.
Yeah. You're going so fast for so much of this lap that when you get to the club chicane, you feel like you've actually stopped, and you're not. Like you say, you're still doing 50 or 60 miles an hour, and you only feel that if anything happens, anything goes wrong, or you slide off, you clip a curve, you go down. You think, oh, I didn't think we were going that quick. You slide forever. But it's because you've been going so quick for so long. Speed's very relative.
Oh, look at these images, are fabulous. Oh, man, inches apart at a colossal speed.
Yep.
That's about 160 miles an hour when they were about 3 inches apart, those two. And now this massive surge up towards 180, and it's uphill towards the chicane before it flattens out.
Yep, Jackson in the slipstream there. Nothing wrong with the speed of that Suzuki, because he couldn't make any headway at all on the Kawasaki, couldn't Jackson.
And then it all concertinas again through for an ultimate run through the club chicane. Now they're out of it, and this is the final lap. This is the decider. Josh Elliott leads number 14, Lee Jackson.
Right, Josh Elliott needs a clean lap now. Is he going to defend? Is he going to try and have a really quick lap? It'll depend on how much tyre he thinks he's got left, how much traction.
They were absolutely identical, 18.4 on the last lap. Jackson's going to look at that inside line again, and he does.
Slight block pass. Is Josh Elliott going to keep it going around the outside? That puts it on the inside.
He's been able to turn the Suzuki quite tight so far. Can he do it again through here? And Mackenzie's right on the back of them now. Bike number 77 on the Batham's BMW.
Has Mackenzie got a good bit of rear tyre left? Has he got a little bit more grip? Because, like you say, he did have a little bit of a sort of brief holiday in the middle of that race, didn't he?
The son of Neil Mackenzie. I thought he might be using his brain here. And
his massive Mackenzie noddle there. Who'd bet against that?
His teammate Michael Rutter's up to 8th place from 35th. Here we go then. This is the last surge down through Brooklands, up to above 170 miles an hour. Side by side, Joshie Elliott comes up the inside of the FS3 Kawasaki, gets as late as possible on the brakes, hugs the chicane. We've seen Mackenzie pull a pass on the previous lap through here. He can't do it this time. It's all down to the road to the line. Oh, Jackson nearly catches the back wheel of the Suzuki. He has to back off. And as they go across the line, it's Mackenzie snatches second by 300ths of a second. Leibog had to back off for a split second as they came out of the chicane. Josh Elliott takes his maiden victory here at Thruxton ahead of Taylor Mackenzie and Lee Jackson. What a ride by Josh Elliott, the former champion from 2015. Brilliant performance by the Ballinamalard man, and the first victory for OMG in their debut season in the paddock. Couldn't happen to a nicer bloke, and congratulated there by Taylor Mackenzie. They had some pretty fisticuffy moments during the course of Taylor Mackenzie's winning championship season a couple of years ago, but all that's forgotten, and congratulations all around. Lee Jackson just almost touched that back wheel and just had to snatch it off.
You've got to love an old school circuit,
haven't you?
Every single race is always good here.
That was marvellous stuff. Watch this.
Here we go, yeah.
Go on, James, take us through it.
Yeah, into the chicanes, they're down to second gear. Josh Elliott has the lead, but look at Jackson thinks, right, what I'm going to do is beat him to the line. I can't do anything else. I can cut it on the inside. Look, I get it tighter on the exit. There you go, gets under him, has to shut off, and that costs him second place. Mackenzie, just in the right place at the right time there. Brilliant. That was the last lap.
The start of the last lap, and look how much ground Taylor Mackenzie had to make up at that point. But make it up, he certainly did. The Superstock 1000 Championship at Thruxton. What a race. Josh Elliott by, well, 2/10, but it seemed closer than that. Taylor Mackenzie, look at the gap between him and Lee Jackson. Lee Jackson just lost that drive out of the chicane when he nearly touched the BMW's back wheel. Suzuki's Billy McConnell in 4th place ahead of Keith Farmer, the championship leader for Tyco BMW, rescuing 5th place from Joe Collier, Lewis Rollo's Ducati, Michael Rutter from the back of the grid, Leon Checock and Dean Hipwell. 11th place for Barry Teasdale ahead of George Stanley, Tom Ward for the Movono.com team, James White in 14th, and I forgot, our guest racer for WD-40 Kawasaki, Claudio Corti from the CIB Italian Championship in 15th place. The championship positions would make interesting reading. Keith Farmer still holds the front line, and because Joe Collier benefited from the departure of Alex Olsen, he still has second place in the championship by a single point from the resurgent Billy McConnell. 106 now for Josh Elliott, 2 points ahead, overtakes Lee Jackson. Olsen in 6th place after that unfortunate DNF. Alistair Seeley, Chrissy Rouse and Michael Rutter still there in the top 10.
Well, there you go. I told you it was worth sticking around for. It was a tough call to decide which was our race of the day, but we had a clear winner for our rider of the day, as voted for by the official BSB Twitter poll. Decided by the fans. Peter Hitman, congratulations, you're the winner. Double podium today, bouncing off your sick bed. We've got Paul Elliott here from Dickies, our representative, who's going to present you with the Stetson.
Cheers.
There you go, the most sought-after Stetson in the BSB paddock.
That'll do
I think you've won that one before, Peter, but perhaps not without winning a race. But it just goes to show everybody kind of recognised the effort that you put in today.
Got the sympathy vote, didn't I? I think.
a runny nose to a Stetson. Well done.
Nothing wrong with it, was there?
No, it's been a tough weekend. You know, it started the way that we wanted it to start. It started with pole in first session, pole in the second session, and the bike was feeling really, really good. You know, and I was really happy and yeah, I did a 20-lap run straight off the bat, no problem at all, and that's an unusual thing to do around here. You end up spending all weekend trying to get the soft tyre to do 15 laps, never mind 20, and we did 20 straight away. So I knew we were in a real good place, and then yesterday it all kind of went wrong for me, but hey, that's the way it goes sometimes. And fortunately enough, I was up all night in the hospital and stuff, but got some drugs pumped into me and I'm all right today. So
I'll keep that quiet if I was you.
We weren't banned substances, don't worry.
We don't know what it was, but it's good stuff. Yeah. Championship-wise, that sticks you into 7th in the championship now, and just about where you need to be. You needed those results, really.
This weekend we needed 2 podiums. We came here with, unless we're on the podium in both races, then the championship's pretty much done. Yeah. So. After yesterday, it wasn't looking likely even this morning, but yeah, we've done a good job, and the bike worked absolutely faultlessly, and yeah, I'm really happy with.
They took a good job. You're off to Cadwell Park next. You don't go bad there either.
Yeah, I'm going to the Ulster tonight.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, straight to the Ulster for the Ulster Grand Prix, and then on to Cadwell. And yeah, Cadwell's a strong circuit for myself, and also Silverstone as well. So yeah, they've both been really good circuits for me in the past, and yeah, fingers crossed we can kind of keep this momentum up now.
You've ever heard of a weekend off, Pete?
No, unfortunately not. It's been on
listen, I wouldn't recommend them.
Yeah, fair enough. Well, listen, go put your feet up now, because I think you've deserved it today, Pete. Fantastic performance. Well done.
Thank you very much. Cheers.
Well done, mate.
Don't put that Stetson alongside all those nice trophies in the front of your motorhome. Cobbler as well. Do you know that, James?
Yeah, it is, yeah. Jay Cobbler.
Yeah. Anyway, let's catch up with Rachel, because there were plenty of contenders for Rider of the Day here, not least Taron McKenzie, who pulled out an epic performance from the back to finish in the top 5 and really close to the podium. Still in his first season, of course, in BSB. He's been talking to Rachel.
Taz, congratulations. You've pretty much been patted on the back by half the paddock out here, and that was because of your superb 5th place in race 2 there. Just talk us through that one.
Yeah, it was obviously a lot easier starting from 7th and 26th, so I just wanted to make the most of where my grid position was, really. So I got a good start and sort of had a good first couple of laps and sort of hung on to the leading group, and then the gap, after I passed Jason, the gap sort of creeped a little bit. So it went up to about 2nd, so I could just sort of not relax, because it's hard staying with them, but sort of follow their lines, and yeah, it was really good. They're all really experienced people that are in front of me, so just to even sit behind them for the whole race was really good for me. So over the moon to finish 5th.
Does that play on your mind at all when you are riding with the likes of the Haslams, the Brooks, the Hickeys?
A little bit. They're obviously fighting for a championship. I know it's early days, but if I ever did something wrong, for me to get a podium, then I would have been on the limit and maybe caused a crash. So I thought stick with 5th and take some good solid points, and achieve my best result. I got 5th at Brands, so to back it up here at Thruxton, yeah, can't ask for much more.
Congratulations, Taz. You are so close to that podium. Fingers crossed it might come before the season's out.
Cheers, thank you.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be long, is it, the way that he's going right now, Taron McKenzie? But this is how the picture looks at the top of the championship now, as we head into, 2 rounds to go to decide the showdown positions. Haslam is locked in. Then we've got Dixon, Brooks, Irwin, Ray and Buchan. But it's Buchan only hanging on now. He's had a real disappointing weekend here at Thruxton, and Peter Hickman taking full advantage with those 2 podiums to move within 7 points of the showdown picture. And Christian Idden, Michael Laverty, Jason O'Halloran. Not an ideal weekend for any of those guys actually now, and the pressure is on as we go to Cadwell for those boys.
Yeah, it is. Brilliant weekend for Icky. That's exactly what he needed, and unlikely this morning, so brilliant for him. Feel a little bit sorry for Jason O'Halloran, a circuit that he loves. He's gone really well at before. We've seen just about in every class he's ridden, he's gone well, and was looking like he could put a couple of podiums together if things had gone perfect. So yeah, I do feel a little bit sorry for Jason.
Final thoughts, Shane?
Yeah, I mean, it's been an interesting day, hasn't it? We thought that Josh was going to come here and go for the double, and for sure he did, but it didn't work out in the first race. Second race he controlled really well. Leon being off the podium obviously brings the boys slightly closer in terms of podium points towards him for the showdown. Leon cementing his place in the showdown, that's him done. All he needs to do now is take podium points when they're available. He's in, he's done. Peter taking 2 thirds, or whatever he did, either the third or the last one. Yeah. That was a great finish for him this weekend. He needed that. He goes into 2 really strong tracks, which will hopefully bump him up the order. Danny Buchan, obviously, bad weekend for him, but still in the showdown.
Yeah.
You know, the battle for that final showdown place is going to become much more intense, I think, over the next couple of rounds.
Yeah.
And it's pretty tight as it is already. So yeah, a lot to come.
Gents, thanks very much for your time today. We've had a cracking weekend here at Thruxton. If you missed anything, don't worry. You can catch highlights tonight from 7:30 on Eurosport 2. And as the boys just said there, next up for us is round 8. We'll have it live for you from Cadwell Park on both Eurosport 2 and on Quest as well. That's on the 18th and 19th of August, so 2 weeks from now. But that's it from today here at Thruxton on a weekend that saw Leon Haslam cement his place in the showdown. Josh Brooks confirm his title intentions, and the chase for the top 6 tighten up with just 2 rounds to decide those showdown positions. Can't wait for Cadwell. We'll see you then.
You hold the line when every one of them is giving up and giving in. Tell me, in this house of mine, nothing ever comes without a consequence of cost. Tell me, will the stars align? Will heaven step in? Will it save us from a sin? Will it? 'Cause this house of mine stands strong. I'm gonna die.